There's a couple of announcements this morning. The Black Lives Vigil today at noon out front on Washington Street. The Undecorate the Tree gift card started today. If you have any questions, see Tricia right over here. Let's see. We have a busy couple of weeks coming up. In 2 weeks, on the 21st, we'll be doing the No Rehearse paper bag pageant, which is always a lot of fun during the service. And then that late afternoon at 4 o'clock, we'll be doing caroling at the clock tower for an hour. And last year we tried to do it, but if you remember, it was frigid outside and we wound up canceling it. So hopefully the weather will cooperate with us. Christmas Eve service, the candlelight service, prelude starts at 4:45. The service starts at 5. April and I will be doing a family and children's service at 4 o'clock in the chapel. This is the first time since I've been here that we're going to do that. And it's just going to be sort of a very loose, fun, singing jingle bells kind of service for the young kids or younger families.
Now, as we deepen into worship, I'd like to invite Reed up to light our chalice. The flaming chalice is not only a shining symbol of our Unitarian Universalist commitment to religious pluralism and humanitarian principles, but also a much-needed light shining into our world. We light it on our altar each Sunday and any time we gather as a community. If you're watching from home, and have a chalice on hand, you may light yours now. The words for our chalice lighting are spoken in unison. You'll find them printed in your order of service or appearing on your screen. Please join me in saying them as Reed lights our chalice this morning.
We light this chalice to illuminate our faithful way forward as an inspirational community of hope. Together, we seek spiritual growth. We strive for just and responsible action. We dedicate ourselves to leading lives of compassion and purpose.
And now, as I get the mic and make my way down to the floor, I'd like to invite anybody, whether you are 2 months or 102, who wants to come forward to hear our Time for All Ages this morning. So, good morning. My name is April Rosario. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the Director of Spiritual Development here at UU Wellesley Hills. Now, we are exploring the theme of hope today, choosing hope. So I want to tell you one of my favorite wisdom tales. But this tale could use some help. It is much better told with some sound effects. So, I have a question for you. When I say a royal trumpet, what sound comes to mind? Anyone? Exactly. Do-do-do-do! Okay, so now that you know what comes to my mind, I'd like you all to try. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect! So, as I tell this story, you're going to hear the words royal, king, queen. Each time you hear them, I invite you to really help me tell this story and make that royal trumpeting sound. Make sense? Okay, so let's practice it once before I jump into my story. And the king, brilliant. This story starts like so many of my favorites do. It starts with once upon a time. Once upon a time, long, long ago, there are a king and queen who oversaw a huge kingdom. Now, their kingdom was struggling. They had been through hard times. So the king and queen decided they would go on a royal tour to each and every village. Now, they sent out messengers well ahead of time, so the villages knew they were coming. Each village was ecstatic, and they began to prepare. The king and queen set out and made their way from village to village to village to village. Now, the villages were spread far and wide, so they didn't have a great way of communicating with each other. So each one was just waiting for their turn. By the time the king and queen, you're so good at that, got to the last village, it had been months since the first message had arrived. The villagers couldn't wait, but they were also a little nervous. You see, this was a village that was run down. They didn't have a lot. They didn't have schools. They didn't have time for play. They worked, they ate, they slept over and over and over again. On the first night that the king and queen were there, they had a small party, a small gathering that went pretty late. The next day at breakfast, the king and queen informed them that they would have to cut their visit short. But because they were cutting their visit short, they were leaving the kingdom with a gift. They told the village that at some point during the night, they had swapped out the royal baby for a child of the village. The villagers all went into a panic. Well, which one? How will we know which child? The king and queen said, "We're not going to tell you. You'll just figure it out. We'll be back in a few years. And when we return, we expect that child to have had a royal childhood." And off they went. The villagers didn't know what to do, so they called a town meeting. They said, "How will we guess? Is it this child? Is it that child? Is it that child? Is it this child? We don't even know how old the royal child is. Maybe it's an infant. Maybe it's a 7-year-old. Maybe it's a teenager. We don't know." So they did what any good village would do. They said, "We will treat them all as if they are royal children." And so slowly, day by day, they adjusted the way they started to do things. All the children were treated with love and kindness. Schools were established in every age because they didn't know how old the royal child was. I had to mix it up. I just kind of went past it real quick to see if you were going to jump in. And you did. I'm so proud of you. And as they started changing the way they did things for the children of the village, it flowed into how they did things for each other. A year went by, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And eventually, the king and queen returned. Upon their return, the villagers were so proud of themselves. They were sure that every child that had been raised in that village had had what they would call a royal upbringing. They again had a party and a feast. This time, though, the king and the queen did not wait until breakfast. They stood as the food was being served and they said, "Do you really think we would leave our royal child with you?" Of course not. What we left you with was hope. What we left you with was a chance to change the way you do things. What we left you with was all the tools you needed. They were already inside you, you just didn't know. You have raised a village of royal children who will go on to become royal adults who may raise royal children of their own. And by the way, the king and queen said, we did this at every village we went to all those years ago. And what was a struggling kingdom is now the most thriving kingdom in the world because you all chose hope. The end. Now, the story is done, but I'm not, because I never am. What I love about stories as a form of spirituality, as a form of finding our way through faith, is they give us nuggets of things. They give us inspiration. I choose to take that inspiration and turn it into a challenge. So here is your challenge for the days and weeks to come. Find the places you can choose hope. Find the ways you can make a difference. Raise the metaphorical, royal children in your lives. Now I'm done.
Thank you, April. Jennifer reminded me that I forgot the most important announcement, which is next Sunday, the 14th, is our community Messiah Sing at 1:30 here in the sanctuary. This is several years we've been doing this, and it's a lot of fun and a great community activity. So please join us at 1:30 next Sunday.
I'm Doug Putas, and I'm here to make the plate collection notice. And I just want to say that whenever I say the word hearth, I want you to sound the royal sound. So we're going to keep practicing this. Your final thing was perfect for me, raising hope. The monthly plate collection theme for December is housing and poverty. And this Sunday we are collecting for Hearth, Inc. Hearth works to end elder homelessness in Greater Boston. Hearth provides permanent supportive housing for 228 formerly homeless older adults and outreach services to prevent and end homelessness for hundreds more each year. As many of you know, I have actively supported Hearth for many years as a board member. Good catch. Chairing the board for the last 4 years. I speak from personal knowledge that government reimbursement rates for service provision to poor elders have not kept pace with inflation, forcing Hearth to fill the gap through increased fundraising. The need is greater than ever as the housing shortage and resulting dramatic increases in rents have put even more older Bostonians at risk of homelessness. Our donations will help Hearth continue to serve the most at-risk elders in Greater Boston. You can make your donation electronically or place it in the plate when it is passed. If you want to make an online payment, visit the online giving page on our website. Once there, be sure that plate collection is selected from the drop-down menu. If you write a check, please put, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, Frank, but Hi, I guess that stands for Hearth Inc., H-I, on the memo line. I think if you put Hearth, Frank will get it right too, right, Frank? Thank you.
given and all you have sacrificed, we are grateful. Thank you. We open our circle of care and concern this morning with these words from Michelle Collins. Spirit of life, we come carrying the burdens of our own discouragements, the job that didn't work out, the relationship that ended, the dream deferred once again. Some mornings it feels easier to stay in bed than face another day of uncertainty. Yet here we are, gathered in this place that reminds us hope is not a feeling we wait for, but a choice we make. Hold gently those among us who struggle to find reasons for hope, whose depression whispers lies about their worth, whose anxiety paints tomorrow in fearful colors. Grant us patience with our own healing and compassion for our stumbling towards wholeness. May we learn that hope is not the absence of struggle, but the decision to keep walking through it. Help us remember that even our smallest step towards forward matter, that courage comes not from feeling brave, but from acting despite our fear. May we find hope in unexpected places, in the kindness of strangers, in our own capacity to survive, in this community that holds us when we cannot hold ourselves. Now I'd like to take a moment to reflect on these words in silence. And may it be so. Now I'd like to invite all who wish to come forward and light a candle of intention. And if you're comfortable, please tell us what person or place this intention is for, and we will carry them in our hearts. Those in our online pews, please type your joy or concern in the comment section, and we will also carry your intentions in our heart. So please come down the center aisle, light a candle, and return by the side aisle. So let us begin.
Harriet Hathaway. My mom.
My friend's mom undergoing cancer treatment.
My Nana.
My nephew, Tony Shaw.
Today, 36 years ago, my friend Miriam Wiley gave birth to her younger daughter, Andrea. She's one of the most beautiful and courageous women that I know. And on her birthday, her mom is not present and her father is in the hospital. So I am delighted to be, as always, for the last many years, her step-in mom to honor this beautiful person.
I'm lighting a candle for my brother Jim and concern for him. I'm also lighting a candle of joy that at midnight tonight is the end of Medicare open enrollment.
This morning, we honor all of these intentions in this community. Along with these, though, we know are certain joys and sorrows that remain private and in our heart today. Those too have a rightful place and belong here. So this morning, we honor all of these with light. We also light this candle for all those people who do not have a community like this in which to share their joys and concerns. May this candle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to help, to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse. May its radiance pour out upon our hearts and spread light into the darkest corners of our world. Now please join in singing Comfort Me, number 1002 in the Teal hymnal, and we will sing the first verse.
Our reading today is entitled, You Are the Holiday Miracle by Gwen Matthews. As December opens up before us, we welcome in the gift of reflection. We turn toward our holiday celebrations and search for common threads of meaning. We begin with Yule, the winter solstice, and we are invited to explore duality, cycles, and seasons, and to witness the Holly King overcome the Oak King. Yule reminds us that we all partake in the miracle of renewal. Hanukkah, the festival of lights, commemorates a time of miracles when the faith of the Jewish people sustained them to reclaim their holy temple and keep the light of the menorah burning for 8 days. Christmas, the celebration of Jesus' humble birth in a manger, offers us to revisit the miracle of birth and the desire to find saviors to heal the scars of humanity. Here in our church, you are just as much a holiday miracle as the turning of the earth, as the persistence and dedication to faith, as the creation of each new life. We see the love you give others, the space you create to hold one another's joys and sorrows, and the generosity and spirit you entrust to this community. You are the holiday miracle. This community is one of miracle makers.
This community is one of miracle makers. I love that last line from April's reading this morning. In a few weeks, it will be my 4-year anniversary here at UU Wellesley Hills, being your minister. It's hard to believe. Some days it feels like 40 years, trust me. But mostly I wonder, where has the time gone? One thing that I have learned over the past 4 years, actually the one thing that you all have taught me, is to thrive as a person, to thrive as a community, we need hope. The belief that things will get better. The belief that maybe this program will be successful. The belief that we will all be okay. Albert Camus, the French philosopher and author, writes, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer, and that makes me happy. For it says that no matter how hard the world pushes against me, within me there's something stronger, something better pushing right back." Remembering back to my first few days or weeks or months here, it was a bit of a bumpy road for both of us, for all of us. I had no idea what I was doing here, and you all had gone through a breakup of a relationship. But I could see unconditionally that you still had the fight in you, even if you couldn't see it yourselves. Little by little, bit by bit, by surfing on that wave of hope, here we are today. Together, we have built our covenant with each other, and understanding that we are all human and sometimes fall, but we reach down always and say, "Here, take my hand." And I have seen recently, especially recently, hope on your faces. Bright, sparkling, delightful hope. So our challenge as Unitarian Universalists is, how do we bring that hope into the world? How do we spread our good news in a world that desperately needs good news? In Affirmation of Hope, Loretta Williams writes, "We, bearers of the dream, affirm that a new vision of hope is emerging. We pledge to work for that community in which justice will be actively present. We affirm that there is struggles yet ahead, yet we know that in the struggle is the hope for the future. We affirm that we are co-creators of the future, not passive pawns. And we stand united in affirmation of our hope and vision of a just and inclusive society. We affirm the unity of all persons." Lately, I've been feeling like we're living in some Orwellian world. What's down is up, what's up is down, white is black, black is white, and lies are truth. And the dis and misinformation is coming at us fast and furious. So William's words are especially meaningful in our world today. We, bearers of the dream, affirm that a new vision of hope is emerging. We pledge to work for that community in which justice will be actively present. But hope can also be hard work. For me, hope is not something that just happens or is intuitive to my nature. Just ask Tom as he watches me throw things at the screen when I'm watching the news every night. That's why I continue to find myself returning to my faith as a UU, returning to our covenanting with each other in the hope of building a better and more just world. It is in these promises we make each other, it is in these promises that we make to each other that I find hope. Hope that I can be a more loving person, a more forgiving person. Hope that my actions will be more just and fair. Hope that in our relationship, my heart will open and I'm able to say, please, come in. So this morning I return to our relationship, yours and mine. I look over these past 4 years and know that miracles can and do happen. I think about where we were 4 years ago and where we are now as a community. And that fills me with tremendous hope. And that knowing gives me hope for our future. It gives me hope that our world will survive and will flourish because we've got each other. We've got each other's back. But again, this relationship between you and me did not just happen. It took work on both of our parts. All of us had to work on building a better community, building beloved community here together. And it took hope. So as we look out on our world, let's commit ourselves to hope. In that famous line from Desiderata by Max Ehrmann, with all of its shams, drudgery, and broken dreams, it's still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. I'd like to end this morning with a story entitled Two Frogs by Reverend Chris Boosie. Two frogs hop as they do, along through their day, hop as they do, into a bucket. This bucket happens to be half filled with cream, which makes the sides very slippery. Too slippery for the frogs to climb out, too deep to jump out. One frog begins to moan and wail, "We'll never get out, we'll never get out, we're doomed." But the other frog quietly thought about their predicament. While he thought, he moved his legs, treading water in the cream. "We'll never get out, we're doomed," moaned one, and the other paddled, and to drown out his companion started chanting, "Keep hope alive, keep hope alive." And he urged his despairing friend to do the same. Keep hope alive, keep hope alive. Around and around they swam, croaking, "Keep hope alive, keep hope alive." And after some time, the most astonishing thing happened. What do you think it was? Butter formed from the cream. As the frogs swam around and around, they churned that cream into butter, enough to climb up on and hop out of the pail, on their merry way, still chanting to themselves, "Keep hope alive, keep hope alive." So as I close in on my 4th year here with all of you, thank you for continuing to swim around the cream until butter formed. Thank you for your resiliency and your willingness to keep going, to keep hope alive. And most of all, thank you for holding our Unitarian Universalist faith so close and being willing to hold out your hand and say, "Here, let me help you." And may it be so this morning. Now please rise in body and or spirit as you're able as we sing our closing hymn, "There is More Love Somewhere," number 95 in the gray hymnal. Number 95.
Celebration is concluding this morning, we extinguish our chalice. Our closing words are spoken in unison, and you'll find them printed in your order of service or appearing on your screen.
Extinguishing this flame which has burned bright in our midst, we revere what has been kindled within each one of us. Warmth in community, the light of truth, a perpetual spark of hope. Go from this place knowing that hope is not a certainty, but rather a choice. When the world offers you despair, choose possibility. When cynicism seems reasonable, choose engagement. May our hope be grounded in love and expressed through action. And may we return here when you need to find the courage to choose again. Our service has ended. Go in peace and return again with great joy.